All right, hey you guys, today we're gonna be drawing these beautiful sun and moon faces. Okay, you're gonna do a half and half face with me. We're just doing the drawing today, and then next week we'll work on the what looks like watercoloring, but it's actually marker painting. I've wanted to do marker painting with you guys for a while, so I'm really excited about this one, and it's gonna turn out so good. Your parents are gonna love this, and you're gonna love making it. Okay, so what you're gonna get is this is watercolor paper. You know, we talk all the time about how at school sometimes your teacher really can't afford to give you like the nice watercolor paper, which is same for me at my school, but here we give you the nice watercolor paper. So this is watercolor paper, it's thicker, and it's gonna work really great for our marker watercolors, okay? In pencil, so in Sharpie you've got the circle because that's gonna be permanent, but in pencil you've got this line right here that separates your moon from your sun, okay? And I drew it in pencil because we need to add a nose. Now you guys are gonna do everything in pencil and then trace it in Sharpie today, but I'm gonna do it in Sharpie so that you can see it better, okay? And I've actually practiced it a couple of times, which is why I can do it in Sharpie. This one took a little practice. So somewhere right here in the middle, you're gonna draw the nose, and it's gonna come out like this, and we're drawing the nose to the moon, and then it's gonna come in like this. Okay, so there's my moon nose. Now I'm gonna go ahead and trace this line up and trace this line right here down, okay? Now on mine, okay, let's talk about these eyes. I drew the sun eye wide open and I exaggerated the size of the eye. I made it big, okay? And on this one, I made the moon eye closed. I gave both of them eyelashes. You do not have to do that, but we will be adding eyebrows too. Do you notice how everything kind of lines up? Because they're sharing a nose, they're sharing a face, everything needs to line up, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my sun eye, okay? And I'm gonna give it a big curve like this. It's gonna be a nice big open eye. And then on the underneath, I'm gonna curve it like that. Okay, it's two slow motions. It's not one big motion. Then on the inside, I'm gonna draw the circle for the eye. Again, I'm exaggerating all of this, right? Now the iris is the part that's colored and the pupil is the center part. So I'm gonna draw the pupil. And then when you guys trace in Sharpie, you can do this, but don't do it now. I left a highlight in my son's eye, okay? Now, if you wanna do it exactly like that, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I ended up making a mistake on my original one, so I ended up having to like come through and do an extra line here. So if you wanna exaggerate that eyelid, you can, okay? If you want to add eyelashes, you can, but you do not have to. You can make one side girly and one side not girly. Okay, we are gonna add eyebrows next. So we're gonna start with a line like this, and then you're gonna draw a short line like that, and then you're just gonna bring it out and connect it. Okay. Okay, we're not gonna do the mouth yet. Let's go over here and do the eye for the moon. Now, what I did for the eye for the moon was a closed eye. If you wanted to do another open eye, or if you wanted to do like a cartoon eye over here or something, you could, okay? I'm going to do a closed eye like this. And this time I'm not gonna give this eye eyelashes, but I am gonna go over it a few times to darken it, so that way it'll stand out. Okay. Mine doesn't line up exactly perfectly. I probably could have brought this down just a little bit lower, but that's okay. All right, and then remember we're gonna do eyebrow. So the eyebrow goes here. And just like I just said about this, if it doesn't line up exactly perfectly, that's okay. Or like this eyebrow is gonna be a little shorter than this eyebrow, I think that's okay, okay? But you don't want like one eye here and one eye here. That's kind of the point. And then we're gonna draw the line up and bring it out. Okay, so now let's talk about mouth. There's a lot of ways you can do the mouth, and I have a couple little samples right here, okay? If you want both sides of the mouth open, which you could do, is you could draw like a smiley face like this, right? Like one smile. I'm just gonna do a quick little like eye section here, so you can kind of see how that would look, okay? And then you could draw a U underneath, and then you could give it like teeth, or like lips if you wanted to, maybe a little tongue, the little cheeky things, okay? That's pretty cute. You could also do like a closed mouth like this, okay? Or you could just keep it really simple. I think I really like that open mouth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw one big smile like this. I'm gonna make that one a little bit wider, okay? And then I'm gonna draw the U. Now, on this one, you guys see how I have these kind of girly lips, guys and gals? I will show you how to do that really quick before I finish off my mouth. If you wanted it to have girly lips, you could draw a smile, and then on top, you draw the 2 bumps, and on the bottom, you draw the 1 bump. And that looks kind of cool too, okay? All right, just wanted to show you that, so you had that option. I'm still gonna add those top lips, as well as the teeth. Now here's where, when you guys haven't traced in Sharpie yet, drawing in Sharpie is a problem. I would want to erase this line right here, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to roll with it. But that is definitely something I would want to do. Since it's open and I have my Sharpie and I have this line right here that I can't really do anything with, I'm going to fill that in dark. You can fill small areas in with Sharpie. We just don't want you to color in big areas, okay? So like a small area like that. So that's going to be dark for me. Okay. Now we're ready to work on our rays, all right? And you can do what you want out here. You could do triangles, okay? But I would say maybe at least like 2 layers. Think of it as 2 layers, okay? So you're gonna want like 1 layer up close and then another layer out here. And we're gonna do some patterns. On this one, I did another circle right here to just the outside, and then I did these lines coming out, and then I did this and these over here, okay? But what I think I'm gonna do today is kind of show you how you would do it with triangles, because I think a few of you are gonna wanna do some triangles. So you would do some really big triangles like this to start with. This is gonna be like our first layer, okay? And then over here, I'm gonna do this layer like this, okay? And this looks very similar to this one. Okay, now what I'm gonna do behind that is I'm gonna add these lines, like these rays. That's all I had on this one, okay? But now I'm gonna add them as like a background layer on this one. And I'm gonna take them in between every single one of these and draw them out, because we wanna fill our paper on this one. This is one of those projects where the whole paper, when we're done, is going to be colored. Okay, and then I could do the same thing out here if I wanted to. On this side, I have these little triangles, and then this layer, and then this layer. So I think on this one, I'm gonna repeat kind of what I did on my son's side and make them the same, but different. Okay, so now I have triangles and I have these. So now what you want to do is you want to come in and draw some extra details to make it look just a little bit more interesting. The more details you add, the more interesting it'll be. So just something really simple, like adding extra triangles works really well. On this one, I'm going to give it some cheeks. I did not do that on my previous one. I'm going to do that here. That looks kind of cute, okay? And then maybe out here, I'm gonna add just some wavy lines as some extra added details. Okay, we have a couple of samples and you can look at some ideas from those. Okay, so there, my sun side is done. So now I need to do some on my moon side. Okay, so I'm gonna put some circles in here, like some swirlies. And when we color these, they're gonna look really cool. And then out here, I'm gonna do an extra line with each of these lines. And then that's what I did on this one. I did little stripes in here. So I'm gonna do that on this one. Just changing it up. What makes these look like suns and moons are the colors that we use. So we're gonna talk about color schemes next week. And then you're gonna kind of color with marker and also kind of paint with marker. It's gonna be really fun. You guys will like it. Once you're done with all your details, your next goal is to trace everything in Sharpie. So you don't want to do lots of little details. You want some kind of big details. Otherwise, you're going to be tracing forever. Okay. All right. So once you're done with your sun and moon drawing and you've got it how you want it, I like the wiggly lines over here. Sorry, you guys. I thought I was done. I thought I was done, but I'm not. I got to add more. I always have to add more. Okay. Once you're done with your sun and moon drawing, then you can write your name in the corner like an artist in Sharpie, okay? And then you will trace it in Sharpie, and then you will be done for today. Can't wait to show you guys how to color these next week. It's gonna be so much fun.